Hello, citizens, and welcome back. This is our match preview for Man City vs Man United in the Premier League. Make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, and let's get this one out the way. So, City against United. Look, any other season, you'd say we're favourites. You know, for the last 10 or so years, we've been quite lucky. Yes, United have beaten us a few times when they really shouldn't have. A couple of games that come to mind that I don't really want to mention right now because I'm already depressed watching this team as it is. But you got to say that we've usually been favourites. Now, going into this one, I have no idea what the bookies have made us. I have no idea what Sky Sports are saying, but there's no way one can consider us favourites. Even with United's poor form, they're on and off against season they're having. There's just no chance. We can't seem to buy a result in the last 2 months. I know we beat Nottingham Forest 3-0, but I reckon if Chris would have gone through and scored that one-on-one with Ortega, it would have been absolutely different that game. We would have crumbled and lost that one. And that's the problem. We don't win games when we're keeping clean sheets. It sounds like an obvious thing, keep clean sheet, win a game. But once we concede, our floodgates just open up and we just have no answers for it. We just don't know what to do defensively. We can't keep our attacks. We can't handle counter-attacks at all. We can't handle crosses. You know, we can't handle any sort of transition. And going forward, we're not much better either. Our midfield disappears. We have no overlaps. We have no runners. The only one looking for the ball is Haaland. And yeah, it's just a mess. So how do you fix this one coming up for? Because for me, I don't think Pep has any answers going in. I've said this for a couple of weeks now. I don't think he's got any answers on how to fix this. When everything's going well, when everyone's on board and everyone's happy and scoring goals and creating all these chances and doing 600 passes a half, it's great. But when the chips are down and confidence is low and you just know, like everyone knows, the fans know, the players, Pep knows, as soon as we concede one, we're conceding 2, 3 or 4. It's obvious from the kickoff. We start games well. That's the thing. We start games well. We start well for about 5-10 minutes. We'll do the same in this derby. It's a derby game. We'll be fired up. This is the chance to turn your season around. That's what Pep will be saying. But guess what? That's what Amarim's going to be saying. And he knows because he's already played us a few weeks ago. You sit back on the edge of your box. You stay compact. You let us what we want for the first 5-10 minutes of the game. Hit us on the counter. Score a goal. And then we'll crumble. That's going to be their game plan. And Pep has no answers for it. He doesn't know how to fix it. And I know we've got injuries and we've got players coming in and out of the team constantly every other week. But there's just no end to this. There's absolutely no end. And I said a couple of weeks ago that December was going to be absolutely horrible. And I couldn't see where our next result is coming from. I can't see where it's coming from. And December's going to be horrible. There's just, you just want it to end. You just want this to be the last month of the season and just not watch any football for a few months. Because that's what we need. So how do we fix it? If Pep can't do it, how do we do it? Well, he's not got many options open to him. We know who he's going to go with. It's going to be Ortega in goal. It's going to be Diaz, Vardio, Lewis, and Walker at the back. It's probably going to be Gundogan. You know, I'll give Pep his due. After the Nottingham Forest game, we went to Crystal Palace. We put up another poor performance and he changed our midfield. He took out Dockering and took out Grealish just as they were banging form. And he puts them in against Juventus, and what you know, they go crap again because they've not been able to build on what they did a couple of weeks ago because they were left out the next game. So for me, Pep has to go with Grealish, Doku, De Bruyne, and Bernardo in midfield. He has to keep it the same, and with Haaland up front, just keep it the same. I know it was poor against Juventus, but just keep it the same because they did it against Nottingham Forest. Give them another chance. Put them in this one. But when it doesn't go well, because I reckon it might go well again for about 30, 35 minutes. If we're lucky, we might scrape a half and make it 0-0 at half time. But when United come out early on in that second half and they open 10 minutes and count on us, and score, that's when Pep's got to make the changes. And he's got to do it quick. He can't be bringing on a player in the 87th minute. What is that going to achieve? You bring on Foden early if you're going to do it. Savinho as well. Bring them on early. Don't mess about. Don't watch the team crumble in front of you and then go, we tried changing the 87th, 88th minute, give someone more minutes for the next game. No. Bollocks to that. Make your substitutions earlier. Because that's the one thing that Pep's not been able to do properly. He's not been able to sort out substitutions. His subs have always been shit. They've always been poor. But now, I mean, it's just heightened because of how bad we are. But that's the team I'd go with. even then, I don't trust it. I don't trust the team. I know we're going to concede. We're not going to keep a clean sheet. And I know once we do, we just got this habit of just letting 2, 3, 4 in. We just can't stop them. And when we push forward, we look even more vulnerable at back, as we saw against Juventus. That second goal, our midfield was absolutely non-existent. Our entire defence was non-existent other than our 2 centre-halves. We had no full-backs, no midfield, because everyone had pushed up trying to get the equaliser, left us exposed. 2-0, game over. And we can't let that happen here, because they're going to be well up for it, United, because they know they can hurt us. Their fans are going to be up for it more so than previous seasons. It's going to be a feisty game. And to be honest, it might be a little bit more physical. Maybe that'll help us out as well, because I think these players deserve and need a good kicking. I think a good physical game might bring the best out of them again and might fire them up. Because they seem to have this mentality at the moment that nothing can go right for them. That, you see them when they get tripped or they get dispossessed, they throw their arms around and start complaining at each other and complaining to the referee. Well, I think a good kicking and a good derby game might be the encouragement they need to sort this season out. And Pep has said after the Juventus game that they're not going to forget about this period. Bloody hell, no one's going to forget about this period. It's been awful. But it doesn't mean that I want it to continue. And hopefully the derby game is a chance for us to turn it around. But I just can't see it. I'm sorry, I can't see it. I know people say negative attitude, this and that. But the way I look at this is that you've got us, you've got United. We're both clowns. We're both fighting it out. And it could be any result. But the only 2 results I can see, 3 results I can see being is 0-0. If both teams are lucky, which neither team can defend, so I don't think that's going to happen. There's either going to be 0-0, it's going to be 4-4, because neither team can defend again, or they're going to smash us 4-0. They're the only 3 results I can see. 0-0, 4-4, 4-0 to them. I can't see any way where a result comes out for us. I just can't. And that's depressing to think. I mean, I've gone into derby games in the last few seasons thinking, well, we should beat these. But ultimately, it's a derby game and anything can happen, because anything can happen. We used to beat them when they were bad. They've been beating us when they've been bad. So anything can happen in a derby game. It just depends who wants it more. Bit of luck during the game. But I just, come on. We're such a bad spot at the moment. I don't think a derby game can save us. And if you can't get up for this, there's no hope for us for the rest of the season. The one good thing I have decided upon on this month and these last 2 months is that at least we're not going to have any of that, neck and neck title charge at the last 2 seasons that give us heart palpitations for 8 games straight. We're not going to have any of that nonsense. That's done. That's dusted. Season over. We haven't got any of that to worry about. It's just getting through this period now and just get into January with as little damage done to us as possible, because teams are celebrating against us like they win the league, which I know we've been battering teams for the last few seasons, but still it's painful to watch, particularly at the Etihad. That being said, I will be the Etihad. I will be going to the game. I almost said I'm looking forward to it. I'm not, but I will be there. I'm still thinking of streaming there, either on YouTube or on TikTok, so keep an eye out on that. I don't know what the connection's going to be like. I know when I've done it on TikTok before, the connection has been pretty bad, and I think it's kind of choppy. But what do you expect? I'm in a football stadium on my phone. Can't get around that. Yeah, join us for that. Be a laugh. Because that's all we can do right now. We're not going to be going into it with confidence. We're not going to be hoping for a win or anything like that. We're just going to go into it expecting to have a good laugh. Probably ourselves, because that's all we're good for at the moment. And again, I've just got to give credit to the City fans. The games at the Etihad, they've been fantastic. The players haven't started booing or anything like the fans haven't started booing. They haven't started jeering. They've clapped the players off. They've sang their hearts out. Fair play to the City fans for that. Someone called us the most fickle fans in the world the other day, which is absolutely nonsense, because like I said, we stuck by this team in the last 2 months. We've not turned on them at all, and I think they kind of deserve to be turned on at this point. I know we've got injuries, and I know there are issues, but the effort's not there. The work rate isn't there. There's only a couple of players that can say they've tried. And there can be times when you're lacking quality, which is what we do now, and you're lacking confidence. But the work rate has to be there, and it's just not. And I don't know what the reason for that is. Whether we've just got no fitness, or the players just aren't interested in the moment. We won 4 leagues in a row, and we've just took a nosedive. The players have to work hard in this one, get a little bit more physical. And actually, if I look at it, treat this one like we did with the Atletico Madrid games a few seasons ago. Everyone says that we mastered the dark arts by then because we did it in one game, because we rolled about on the floor and things like that. But I think this is what this is going to have. This game is what is, it's calling out for it. You're going to have to roll on the floor a little bit. You're going to have to go down. You're going to have to waste time. No quick free kicks. Even when we're 1-2-0 up, it doesn't really matter. Don't take them for quick free kicks. Slow it down. Bore them to death. Because that's what they're going to try and do, is try and bore them to death and try and drain them. Let's show them we ourselves getting out of this one with a lot of damage. So thanks very much for watching. Thanks for checking it out. That's the match preview. What else more can we say? We've said it all in the last 2 months. Just pray for a win. It's not going to happen. Pray for a 0-0. That's what I'm going for. 0-0. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.